Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'll show you how I fixed a common problem in EVNG, the web login page not loading and SSH also not working, even when the virtual machine is powered on and showing an IP address. I'll walk you through every step I followed, starting from checking the EVNG documentation page and finally showing the exact fix that solved the issue on my Windows host. If your EVNG web login page or SSH suddenly stops responding, this video will save you a lot of time. Let's get started. First, I powered on my EVNG virtual machine. Once it booted, the virtual machine displayed its IP address on the console. Next, I tried to open the EVNG web login page using this IP address in my browser, but the page did not load. I also attempted to SSH into the virtual machine, but that didn't work either. This confirmed that both the web interface and SSH access were not functioning, which means we need to troubleshoot step by step. Next, I'll open the EVNG documentation page and navigate to FAQ section about the login issues. Here it mentions two common reasons why the web login might fail. The first reason, when your virtual machine's hard disk drive is overloaded, it cannot write more files on that. And the second issue is, if you had powered off your PC when the VMware or EVNG is running, it may cause some login failure. So we will check both of these step by step. Now let's check the first possible reason. A full disk in the EVNG CLI, type this command df-h. This output, you can see the current disk usage for all the partitions. If any partition is 100% usage, the virtual machine disk needs to be expanded as explained in the EVNG documentation. In my case, the available storage was sufficient, so a disk expansion was not necessary. This confirms that the disk is not causing the login issue. If you ever need to expand your EVNG virtual machine's hard disk, here is the quickest way to do it. Open your virtual machine and click Edit Virtual Machine Settings. Select your existing hard disk and you will see the option to expand disk capacity on the right. You can expand this disk directly, but the easier and safer method is to add a new virtual disk. So click Add, choose hard disk and click Next. Here select the recommended disk type SCSI and click Next. Select Create a new virtual disk and click Next. Then set the maximum disk size based on your needs. Here choose Store Virtual Disk as a single file. Then click Next and then Finish. Your new virtual disk will now appear in the hardware list. In my case, I already had enough free space, so I didn't need to add anything. But if your EVNG VM is running out of storage, follow these steps. Reboot the VM and then try loading the EVNG web page login. In many cases, it solved the issues. Next, I moved on to the second part mentioned in the EVNG documentation, the database issue. So I opened the EVNG CLI and ran the database repair commands shown in the documentation page. After running the fix, I went back to the browser and refreshed the EVNG login page, but in my case it still did not load. So this means the problem was not with disk space or the database, and I needed to continue troubleshooting. So I moved on to the next possible cause, the network adapter settings in VMware. So click on the edit virtual machine settings. My EVNG VM was already set to bridged mode. You can see it on the network adapter. On the right side, we have an option configure adapters. Click on that to open. We have to make sure VMware was actually bridging to the correct physical network adapter on my Windows host. To confirm this, I opened the command prompt on my Windows host PC and ran ipconfig all command. From the output, I identified the exact network adapter I was using, whether it was my Wi-Fi or Ethernet interface. Then I compared it with the list in VMware's bridge adapter list. In my case, it was already correctly selected, but this is an important step because if the wrong adapter is selected, EVNG will not get network connectivity. After confirming the correct network adapter was selected in VMware, I powered off the EVNG VM and then powered it back on. Once the VM booted and displayed its IP address, I tried again. I refreshed the browser with the EVNG IP. I also attempted to SSH into the VM, but still both the web login page and SSH were not responding. Next, I opened the EVNG virtual machine CLI to check whether the VM could actually reach my Windows host machine. I verified the virtual machine's IP address using IP address show pnet0. Then I tried to ping my Windows host PC's IP address. It was not reachable. I checked the routing table using route-n. Everything in the routing table looked correct. So the issue was clearly not inside the virtual machine's configuration. To confirm further, I pinged my default gateway and even that was not reachable. This told me the virtual machine's network was not properly bridged to my host network. At this point, the issue was clearly on the Windows host side, not inside the EVNG VM. So I opened the Windows network adapter settings using ncpa.cpl command on the command prompt. In the list of adapters, I located the two VMware adapters, VMnet1 and VMnet8. To refresh the virtual networking, I disabled the VMnet1 and enabled it again. Then I disabled VMnet8 and enabled it again. This forces VMware to rebuild its virtual networking bridge and fixes issues where VM fails to communicate with the host. After resetting the VMware network adapters, I shut down the EVNG virtual machine completely and powered it back on. Once it booted, I tried SSH again. This time it connected instantly. Then I refreshed the web browser with EVNG IP, and finally the web login page loaded successfully. So the actual fix in my case was refreshing the VMware network adapters on the Windows host, not the disk or database issues. But the earlier steps were still important to verify all possible causes. That's it. That's how I diagnosed and fixed the EVNG issue where both the web interface and SSH were not loading. If this video helped you troubleshoot your EVNG setup, please give it a like and consider subscribing for more videos. Thanks for watching and I will see you on the next video.